Today I took a trip up to New Brighton with my wife, my eldest daughter and my grandson Jacob. And it's a place we used to go throughout the summer. We still go there every now and then. And what I decided to do there was, there's two chippies on the seafront in New Brighton. One of them's called Mediterranean Sea. The other is called Perch Fish Bar. So I decided to put one against the other. Let's see which one I felt was the better of the two. So we got a fry off. The ultimate fish and chip shop showdown. Right, okay, I'm in New Brighton, and it's a regular place I come at least a few times a year. Now I take my grandson, and I've come to review two chippies at the same time. We're putting Mediterranean Sea against Perch Fish Bar, and they're only a couple of 100 yards apart, and all I've ordered is fish chips on both of them, so we can have a little look. Let me know in the comments what you think about either of these two. This one, Perch Fish Bar. This one, Mediterranean Sea. That's the fish and chips from the Perch Fish Bar. And this is the fish and chips from Mediterranean Sea. Well, straight away, while I'm doing this, we've got a load of school kids out here on a bit of an adventure. And there's probably about 50 of them, so that's nice. But anyway, back to the fish and chips. Well, straight off, Mediterranean Sea looks awful, and yet I used to love that chip. Perch Fish Bar looks so much better. This looks terrible. But it's all on taste. The chips, burnt, old. Not so great, I'll be honest. I'll have another little taste of this fish from the other end. The batter, as you can see, is really undercooked there on the inside. Okay, let's have a look at this one. Now that's a nice piece of fish. Look at that. The batter's nice. It's crispy. Nice big chunks of fish. Flaky. So we're looking at Perch Fish Bar. Has the fish, definitely. Oh yeah. What about the chips? Even the chips are better. I remember coming down here a couple of years ago, and I had fish and chips from Perch Fish Bar, and it wasn't nice at all. But then went over to Mediterranean Sea. I got chips for you, and so much better. Really enjoyed it from the Mediterranean Sea. But now it seems like it's swung round, because I don't like the fish and chips from Mediterranean Sea at all, whereas Perch Fish Bar, nothing wrong with it at all. Batter's nice, loads of fish, It's a bigger serving, slightly. It's definitely a bigger tray, but it's actually a bigger serving slightly. Let me know what you think in the comments on appearance. What do you think when you first look at that? Mediterranean Sea, and you've got Perch fish bar. So let us know in the comments. So as you can see by that, it was a real turnaround for me. I used to really like the Mediterranean Sea, not so keen on the Perch fish bar, and there's been a bit of a switcheroo. I don't know what it was, but I was speaking to a couple of guys in a van next to me who were watching me do the review. After my review, they'd heard what I'd been saying, and they said, yeah, we agree. We used to love the Mediterranean Sea. Now we prefer the Perch fish bar. And that was obviously a local, or unless they're visiting in that area, but they're both cooking oil, and the hygiene rating was 5 for the Perch fish bar and just 3 for the Mediterranean Sea. The lone staff member in the Perch bar, super friendly, polite, helpful, great with my grandson. The staff in the Mediterranean Sea seemed rushed off their feet. Sure, there was more people in that chippy, but not that many for them to be like they were. It was kind of strange and not comfortable at all. So let's look at some of these reviews on Google. And before I do, the fish and chips, that's all I got from both. It was really a tester. Who can do the best fish and chips? What was the place like? What was the service like? How was everything in general? Because I'm not just there to rate the food, I'm there to rate the whole thing. So the fish and chips from each, and it was approximately £9 each. So it was the same, pretty much the same price, apart from a few pennies. Was it worth the £9? This is the Perch fish bar. 1 star, 14 quid for fish and chips and a small chips and gravy. Rip off your customers and will be the last time they use you. 3 star, decent enough. Chips nice and fish okay. Batter a bit overdone in places. A bit grubby in there. Counter and condiments needed a good clean. £8.90 for fish and chips, just a tad steep for it not being at least 90% there. However, it was okay and chips were the best part. 5 star. This is my favourite place for fish and chips. The guy who runs it is always really pleasant, as are all the staff, and I've never had rubbish chips or fish. My only criticism would be the picture of the shop shut on their website needs to be removed. It gives the wrong impression of the shop. It looks awful. I'd replace it with a nice image of how it looks when it's open. My review, 4 star. It was a really nice chippy. I recommend if you're in New Brighton, give it a go. What a delightful surprise. My last visit a few years back with my family left much to be desired regarding the food quality. However, today's experience was utterly different. I enjoyed lovely fish and chips, featuring a generous portion of fish and chips that were crispy and hearty. The service was pleasant, and witnessing your efforts cleaning an already immaculate-looking establishment was pleasing. The staff member was courteous and amiable towards my grandson. Continue on this path, you're doing a splendid job. Mediterranean Sea, 1 star, 3 thumbs up. 20-minute wait and only 3 people in front of me. The staff were a bit busy on their phones. The workplace, as in fryers, were dripping in old grease and looked absolutely disgusting. Ordered sausage and chips. When eventually got it, the chips were soaked in grease and sausage was cold. I was going to refuse to take the meal, but didn't want to create a scene. Opened the meal across the road in the car. It tasted dreadful. Went straight in the bin. 1 star is being generous. A previous review that commented on the staff's hygiene was right. It hasn't changed. 3 star. Nice but greasy. Food, £6.50 for a fish and £2.50 for chips. Place is very dirty, could do with a clean. 5 star. Fabulous fish and chips on windy January afternoon. What better way to brighten the day? Staff made me laugh too, highly recommended. Mine, 2 star. Mediterranean Sea. What has become of you? For years during trips to New Brighton, I would visit with the family for fish and chips, but today left me profoundly disappointed. The chips were overdone, with several tasting burnt. The fish was awful, and the batter soggy in areas. The shop appeared worn and the floor was in dire need of a thorough scrub, or so it appeared. None of the staff seemed content. It is with regret that I must award your establishment only 2 stars. I earnestly hope you heed this feedback and that of others and implement improvements for the future. 2 star, my first 2 star. It wasn't a good feeling having to do that, but it had to be done, and it was a shame. I kind of expected it to be the other way around, but I can only judge on the day. People are different, people have different tastes, but this is my opinion, my review. Yeah, 4 out of 5, great for Perch Fish Bar, and 2 stars for Mediterranean Sea. See you on the next one.